Hey, it's Shannon from iHeartRadio Canada, joined by our friend Tyler Shaw. How are you, buddy?
Good. How are you?
Good. A lot has changed since the last time that I talked to you. You are now a father. Congratulations. How is it going?
Yeah, thank you.
Are you
I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I don't remember what sleep is, so that's fun. But at the same time, it's amazing and beautiful, especially when she's smiling and making these little noises. It's unreal. It really is.
I can only imagine. And she was born right before Christmas. Is that true?
Yeah, December 20th.
20th. Nice.
Yeah.
Sagittarius. It's good.
Yeah, nailed it.
Nice. That's awesome. And Halsey announced that she's pregnant today. So I feel like she's really just following suit.
Oh, of course, yeah.
Yeah. That's fair.
Oh, Tyler Shaw? Tyler Shaw's having a kid? All right,
All
let's
right.
do it.
Yeah. Can handle a music career and a baby for sure. But more importantly, I
Yeah.
know we're here to talk about you, but how is your wife doing? She good?
She's fantastic. Yeah. Without getting into too much detail, the birth story was a little traumatic for everyone involved. But the important thing is everybody's healthy, everyone's happy, and we are a family together. So
I'm so glad to hear that. That's awesome. What do you feel like is the most surprising thing that you've learned about yourself with now becoming a father? I know it's only been a little bit, but it's got to be a lot of change.
the most depressing thing.
What's surprising? I mean, you could say depressing
Oh,
too.
surprising.
Let's say surprising.
I heard depressing. Yeah, the most surprising thing. Um, I think the lesson that I'm learning is just patience with a newborn, especially. They can't communicate. If even if they're uncomfortable, like I got a kink in my neck, they're going like they don't know how to communicate that, right? So it's just like you got to figure out what it is that they need. You got to do like process of elimination. So that's been patience has been a big learning curve, I guess.
Yeah. And I can imagine just like getting sleep wherever you can, right?
Yeah, pretty much. Like, yeah, anywhere I can shut
Yeah.
my eyes for even if it's 2 minutes.
Yeah, true. I love the photo of you in the studio, like working, but still like caring for your daughter. I think that's crazy multitasking. I can only imagine what that is like. But I do want to talk about your song "When You're Home." This song has been on repeat, dude. It's so good. I
Oh,
love.
amazing. Thank you so much. Yeah, it's I wrote this one back in March of 2020, so right before the pandemic like really got serious. And I took in the voice note of that like melody, the da, 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 that you hear off the top. And I was in with two other writers, and they fell in love with that melody and that waltzy vibe. And we wrote this song in 45 minutes, which is by far like one of the quickest sessions I've ever had. But for a 45-minute session to have an outcome like that song just made me smile the entire time. We cut the rough vocal, we did some piano, bass, went out for a pint, came back, listened to it on fresh ears, and I couldn't stop smiling. I could not stop smiling. And I remember feeling like I've never felt this way about a song before. So it was very refreshing and very like it made me very, very happy.
Yeah, I can totally imagine too, because it's such a beautiful song. And the reaction from your fans too is so great. So many of them
Mhm.
say, like, oh, I'm so using this song at my wedding, or I'm gonna like use this for special occasions. So
Yeah.
how does that feel for you when people are touched in that way where they want to use that song for something that's so special to them?
I think it's one of the most amazing things. Like being a part of someone's special day like that, even if it is the music, is one of the main reasons why I do music. I want to be able to inspire and influence and have a soundtrack for people's lives. And whether that's through a breakup or through a lovely relationship, I want to be through it all. I want to get them through it. I want to celebrate with them. So it's this is why I do music, and to have that be a constant something that people do all the time is use my song for weddings or whatever it is. They let me know, and I'm overjoyed every time.
Totally. And this song is a perfect example of that because it's so romantic. So have you always been such a romantic?
I mean, I think so. I want to say yeah. Like I can't even remember. Like I'm maybe what was my first girlfriend in grade 6 maybe,
Mhm.
and I don't remember doing anything romantic for her per se. But like I wrote a song when I first started writing music. I wrote a song for the girl I had a crush on. So I mean, I've always been writing songs about about love and relationships ever since 13.
Oh, that's nice. That's your love language, songwriting.
I guess so. Yeah, good
Yeah.
call.
Yeah. And I like that you pulled yourself a little Taylor Swift, a little Easter egg in the music video for this song, where it showed that we could be getting a self-titled album coming up on April 9th.
This is actually the music video has been out since January 15th. This is only the third person I've seen out of the video has 500,000 views, over 500,000 views right now. You're only the third person, the third comment that has mentioned the Easter egg. So good eye.
No,
good job for finding that.
yeah, it's that investigative journalism, you know. But that is very exciting. What can you tell me about the new album coming out? Can we expect kind of the same vibe of this song? Is it a little bit different?
You're gonna get flavors from around the world because this album was written in quarantine at home. All the Zoom sessions I was doing were from around the world. So one week, you know, I'd have Monday a session with someone in Berlin. Tuesday, I'd have a session with someone in LA. Wednesday, I'd have a session with someone in London. So it's been interesting to get all these different flavors from around the world all into one album. That being said, you know, it's a love album, but at the same time, no relationship is perfect. So for example, there's a song on the album that I really love. It's called Say Nothing. And I remember the day before my session with that producer and songwriter, I got into an argument with my wife. And at the end of the argument, we were just standing there saying nothing. And I, you know, the next day I was like, that's a cool song concept title. So I wrote this really cool song all about that time and space where you just have nothing left to say in an argument. So there's songs like that, but there's also songs that, you know, you can drive to the beach to, for example, Remember, you know. So it's my best work to date, and I'm really, really proud of it. We're just at the tail end of things now. I got a few more sessions, and then we're gonna wrap it up and have it ready for the springtime.
Nice. Do you feel like having to be home this entire creation of this album has impacted how the album is? Because I know that you like to write in like the UK and like gain influence from other places.
Yeah.
So has that really changed the way that this album's been created?
Big time. You know, travel for me is one of the most inspiring things. Is just like going somewhere new, and I love that feeling of just like seeing something for the first time. That being said, like when we all went into lockdown in, I guess that was April of 2020, that it took me a while to like understand that everyone's going to be at home and you had to work from home now. And that mentally did something to me. It was a hard transition to make. So what I did in order to transition, I would just take time for myself. You know, wake up before anyone else woke up and come to the backyard, have a cup of tea or whatever, and just like be alone with my thoughts. You know, reflect on myself, reflect on relationships, reflect on friendships, and everything, life. And I think that did something neurologically in my brain where it just it made me think about things in a new perspective. Because if I was to go like traveling on the road, my mind is constantly thinking about something else. I don't really have time for myself. For that, to have that like 2-week transition to just be able to just really be with my own mind was really beneficial in the creation of this album. And it helped a lot.
Yeah, I love that. I feel like that's so great that you realize the importance of that as well. And I find with the pandemic, like myself personally, all I try and do is like distract myself with other things or like watching TV or like just keeping myself busy.
Yeah.
To not just be like alone. So the fact that you can do that and then turn it into something creative, I think is so important.
Totally. You got to channel that energy somehow.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, so on my radio show yesterday, I was asking this question. So I want to ask you as well, because I want to know your answer on this. So when Donald Trump was in the Oval Office, he apparently had a button that every time he pressed it, somebody would walk in and they'd give him a cold can of Diet Coke. So if you had your own button that you could press and a butler would walk in and hand you whatever you want, what would it be?
Oh my God. I need like time to answer this question because like there's so many possibilities.
We'll just play
there's so many possibilities.
Background. Yeah.
I think, you know, damn. I think like a nice, if you've ever had dim sum,
Mm.
there's this dish called hagao, and it's just like this steamed dumpling with shrimp inside. That is like such a comfort food for me. So I think I would have to go with that. But I'm curious, like, what did you say?
Oh, nobody ever asked me. I didn't even think about it myself. I was just
Oh, well, there you go.
thank
Yeah.
you so much. Wow. Okay. I also have to think about it. Probably like a really like fresh slice of pepperoni pizza. I'm like pretty basic, but
See,
you're
okay, that was my second thing. I did think about that. Good call. I agree with that.
all right. But yours sounds good too. So good comfort foods. I like
Nice.
it. That's awesome. Tyler, thank you so much for taking the time. It's always a pleasure. Nice talking to you.
My pleasure. Thanks so much.